Well,
for
it's interesting.
for
I
their
don't know if you've
life.
ever read the works of Dr. Wednesday Martin, but I would
If not,
recommend her.
okay.
She wrote a book a couple of years back, and she talked about how the rise in non-monogamy is something that is being particularly driven by the females. It's
Hmm,
women who tire of monogamy long before men do. And we have the reverse
interesting.
perception in culture because we think men are just a
Yeah.
bunch of horny guys and they just want to sleep with everybody that moves. And
Mhm.
that's just not true. It's not that women are either are thinking that. It's just that monogamy is a bigger burden for women than it is for men, and they tired of it earlier. And for a significant portion of them, I believe it's because, and I think America is a great, case in point here. Women's sex education is abysmal.
Yeah.
And so, I'm Gen X, so I'm a little older. So I grew up in a world where sex education basically was don't get her pregnant, don't get an STD. So
Yep.
that was it. And
Putting
I got
the
teenage.
condom on the banana.
Yeah, exactly. And now, I have teenage boys and, obviously they're getting that same message, but they're getting the consent message, which is really good. But
Mhm.
particularly for women, what you never get is here's what good sex is for a woman. Here's how a
Mhm.
woman's body works. And
Mhm.
for a lot of women, they go along to get along in their teens, in their 20s, and they don't really
Mhm.
start to have a sexual awakening, quite frankly, till their 30s or 40s for a lot of women because it
Totally.
takes them that long to figure out what's working and not working. I mean, how many times have we heard a woman say, "Well, I think I had an orgasm"? What do you mean you think? You know.
Yeah.
When you've had one, you
Yes.
know. Any woman who's ever said, "I think I had one," you did not. Because there's
Mhm.
no question if you had one or not if you've had one.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of women who've just never even accomplished that. And the data is, I think it's like 80% of women don't achieve orgasm from penis and vagina sex.
Mhm.
And so if that's true, but we're not talking to them about that, and we're not telling them, okay, here's what you need to do, and everyone's going to be different. We're not giving
Mhm.
them any representation of that. And then the default education mechanism tends to be pornography, which is the worst case scenario for women. It's not that pornography is
Totally.
bad. Pornography is great.
Yeah.
It's a great form of entertainment, but it's a horrible form of sexual education.
Right.
And by the time, and this is the downside, is that when women start to figure it out, maybe they're 10 years into their relationship and they turn to their
Mhm.
partner and say, okay, listen, we need to make some changes because I'm not getting what I need. And the men, unfortunately, take it as a criticism of them. And
Mhm.
it's not you're bad. It's weren't doing the right things. We collectively, and now I'm going to ask for it. So men, here's my advice to you if you're listening to this. If a woman says, things need to change in the bedroom, listen to her. It doesn't mean do
Mhm.
everything she says, nor should she do everything you say, but listen to her and find a way to fulfill her needs. And this is a really important point. Toys are your friends, they're not your enemies.
Yeah. I know, I am always surprised when I hear, somebody say something like, "Oh, like, he got offended that I wanted to, use a vibrator," or, "He got offended that I wanted to try a toy." Like, "What, I'm not enough for you?" And it's like, that's not what it's about.
Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you? I mean, there's no guy out there who's I'm a golfer, and I spend a lot of time golfing. Every guy
Mhm.
who golfs will go buy every new widget, toy, and
Yes.
gadget
Great
to make their
analogy.
golf game better. What, your skill level's not good, your swing's not good enough? It's the same thing, guys. So go get the
Yeah.
rangefinder that vibrates in the bedroom, and you will find the clitoris, hopefully.
Oh my god, hopefully, right? Jeez, I know. I know, they're like, yeah, sometimes you really feel like you do have to
But to
draw a
be
map.
fair, to the men here, a lot of women don't even know themselves because they're not taught it.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's this idea sometimes of, listen, just, tell him to pull your nightie down when he's done, like just put up with sex to get it over
Mhm.
with. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who convey that message to their daughters that that's the
Mhm.
sex talk. Like whatever he needs, let him do it, as long as you're not getting hurt. But then when he's done, just, figure yourself out later. I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Why don't we talk
Mhm.
about this? What works for you? What doesn't work for me? And be open to that conversation. But it takes so long to get there, and a lot of resentment gets built up and fear. And,
Mhm.
that's part of what I go out here and do these conversations. I want men to understand there's so much more to sex than what you think there is. And it's, trust me, you're not going to get it off Pornhub. But
Yeah.
talk to your partner because if she doesn't know, then you guys can start exploring together and figure out what does and doesn't work. And just remind yourself that it's about mutual satisfaction, not your pleasure solely.
That's very well said.